Questions and comments. The honourable member for Courtenay-Alberni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank my honourable colleague, the Minister, for his speech. And Mr. Speaker, he talks a lot about the Ocean Protection Plan, but on the ground, I'll tell you what it looks like, Mr. Speaker. When it comes to ocean plastics and marine debris, there's a regulatory void. It's not even mentioned in the Ocean Protection Plan. When it comes to oil response, we can see what happened with the bunker fuel spill in English Bay. It took 14 hours for the government to get there in English Bay. The Helsick can tell the story about what it looked like for a diesel spill in the Helsick territory and how long it took for oil response to come. In fact, right now, they're stopping building more oil response facilities because they're saying it's tied to Kinder Morgan. So it's like we've got a gun to our head, Mr. Speaker, in our coastal communities. This government's saying we won't protect our coast unless we have a pipeline. I mean, Mr. Speaker, that's completely ludicrous and irresponsible. What British Columbians and what coastal people want is they want an ocean protection plan that's there no matter what, Mr. Speaker. And what we haven't heard is this government keeps talking about evidence-based decision-making. Where's the evidence-based decision-making when it comes to cleaning up raw bitumen? Mr. Speaker, they haven't figured that out. Maybe the minister can speak to it. He says that he is unmuted, he has scientists, that they can speak freely. Can they show us the science? Can they bring forward the scientists that can prove that diluted bitumen can be cleaned up in our oceans?
Well, Minister for Infrastructure.
Mr. Speaker, I can understand the anxiety and the concerns of British Columbians around ocean protection and marine safety, because for the last decade we had a government of Prime Minister Harper who did nothing to protect the environment or provide protection to coastal communities. We're working with the municipalities. I can share one example which is somewhat related to cleaning up the oceans, is that we are working with the City of Victoria, where raw sewage was being dumped into the oceans, to provide them necessary support to clean up the water so that it's not dumped into the ocean. There's $1.5 billion in oceans protection plan is the historic investment that we're making that the previous government neglected for almost a decade. Yes, we are there for British Columbia. We will make sure that we are providing the necessary support, and we will not, Mr. Speaker, we will not punish British Columbians for the actions of their government. We need to make that distinction. If Mr. Horgan is creating this uncertainty, he's, eroding the confidence in our economy and investor confidence. But we are here to serve Canadians, including British Columbians.